Hi everyone, it's Helen here. I can see there's quite a few people already in the room and they've all been chatting. I've been chatting too, so it wasn't fair if I started too early because then that would be very, very chatty.
Do you want a biscuit?
Yes, and that was my that is my ringtone if I get a message. So let's put that on silent. There's always something I forget to do. Okay, I'm not sure if you actually heard that, but it was just someone yelling, "Do you want a biscuit?" Actually, I wouldn't mind having one actually, but I don't like to eat when I craft, so I kind of keep those two separate. Okay, so I have my comments in front of me. So this is Christmas in July, so I'm gonna do as many as I can this month. I normally number them, but I'm not going to put that sort of pressure on myself this time. As you all know, I did not finish my 12 days of Christmas in December. I've got up to 9. I think it's 9 or 10, I can't remember. So I'm not going to put that sort of pressure on me at the moment. July is going to be an incredibly busy month. So this is the kit that I have in front of me, but I'm just fiddling with all of these lovely embellishments here, so I'll be getting to this kit in a moment. So while I rifle through all these and you can have a quick look at these, I'm just going to say I do have a very busy July at the moment. I'm going to be on Hochanda at the end of the month with my new collection. My new collection arrived with me a few days ago, so I've been busy making samples. The samples, the die sets again are with the design team too, so they're super busy as well. So it's not just going to be my samples on the show, and obviously there's going to be an official launch at Craft Stash as well. So I'm hoping you can all hear me okay, because it's been a really exciting week. I have a new computer as well as a new gadget that I'll show you in a moment. So I've tried to get all of the settings for my video recording all down. So I'm hoping you can all hear me all right. Otherwise you're just going to be seeing my hands moving. So I have my phone in front of me here, so I can keep an eye on the comments. So let me know if you can hear. I'm going to keep rifling through this. So this is another digital collection, and I've just spent the afternoon printing things off. It's quite therapeutic actually, and when I was watching Jeanette's show earlier, Jeanette Lane, I'm hoping most of you will know who that is, and I think there's definitely going to be some people here. Lou and I think it's just Lou. I'm sure there was a couple of others in here that were there too watching the show. So I was just fussy cutting everything out, so I didn't do a lot of typing. Again, I'm busy getting ready. And if I just want to say hi to Lynn Clifton. If she's not joining in, she'll be watching on the replay, so I'm going to say hello Lynn. Hopefully you're not too tired at the moment when I'm filming this, but and you'll be nice awake in the morning to watch the replay. Okay, so this is a digital collection, and again, because it's Christmas, digital collections are absolutely perfect for crafting any time of year. You can just go buy your kit, and if you want to make what I'm making today and you don't want to go to the effort of all of this printing out, it only took me about an hour to do all this. You just dive into your Christmas collections that you probably have from years ago, or maybe even last year. I know that there's going to be some things that you haven't even touched from things that you've bought, so drag those out, put them visible, somewhere visible where you can see them, so that you're actually going to use them. So if you have that sort of stuff, drag that out and it's going to be perfect for this album that we're going to be making today. So let's have a quick look at the album. So I have found on Amazon these CD cases. So let's pop these out. So these hold 24 CDs, and they're plastic and like see-through plastic here. They open up like this, and then we have these sections here, so you can put CDs in them. And there's 24 pages, so if you wanted to make a December daily, it's absolutely perfect. You can have volume 1 and volume 2, so it's not just for Christmas as well, any old time. And you also get, I don't know why they put these, what this is in. It's a pretend CD, but you can draw around this to cut out a circle to fit something in there. So as I have an already made album, it gives me the perfect opportunity to show you how I decorate, and you'll get to see my thought processes, and as Debbie mentioned, make mistakes too. So I do make a lot of mistakes, and I don't mind showing those on the channel, because, well, how I'm learning from my mistakes, and so are you. So mistakes aren't always, you know, necessarily bad, because you learn quite a lot. So it's a lot easier watching somebody else make the mistake, though, definitely. So we have 24 pages here, so you can have December daily style. So I've just dug these out of my stash, so this is absolutely perfect. It's a stash buster. So I have some advent numbers here. These all go to number 25, which is really good, because a lot of advent numbers, they stop at 24. So I'm hoping to add these to my pages, and you can buy those little packets of numbers as well. And as we're in July, a lot of shops and collections are getting out their numbers too. I'm sure Hobbycraft will be getting out their Christmas bits and bobs too. So I always like the Hobbycraft collections. I always buy one if I really like it. So this is basically for DVDs or CDs. I'm going to be turning this into an album, and as you can see, there's plenty of room in there for adding bulk as well. So we're going to be decorating the outside of the sleeve and the inside cover. So what do you guys think of these? Please let me know in the comments. And I'm just checking my connection. It all looks okay. As I said, I'm working on a new computer at the moment, so I'm hoping that everything is working. I can see here that I'm not sure if my comments on my phone are synced, so I'm just going to pop over here just to make sure I haven't missed anything. Okay, so I want to say hello to a few people. Okay, so we have Debbie. Debbie, I think, was the first one in there, so hi Debbie again. And we have Hobby Angel Crafts, and we have Kim. Hi Kim. Okay, so everyone's saying that the sound is great. You can hear clearly from Dallas. Excellent. Hi Gillian. I've said hello to Lou as well. Yes, I think Lynn must be having a nap, Lou. But she always watches on the replay. So, and she's just put together the terrific terrarium actually. So, and she instead of the acetate, she used pattern paper, and it looked really cool. Really cool idea. You know, that would make a perfect sort of doll's house as well. Okay, so I am going to jump straight into this after I've read some of your comments, because I do like to interact with you guys. There's no point in me being live if I'm not saying, you know, hi to everyone. I mean, you can all chat amongst yourselves, which is pretty cool. So okay, so Tammy's saying this is a cool idea. 20 years ago we were altering CDs themselves for scrapbook embellishments, and now use the albums. Why not? Yeah, I mean, I've actually made mini albums from the CDs. You punch holes in and you kind of make a round page with the ring pulls around it. So I do remember doing that. You know, you just draw around the CD and then cut it out, because this was like 2005, I'd say, when I was doing that. I did not have a die cutting machine at all, so it was scissors and a craft knife. Draw around the CD, cut it out and glue everything together. That was quite fun. Okay, so Hobby Angel Craft says the CD sleeve looks great, nice and sturdy for an album. It does feel super sturdy as well. So these are only £6.99 from Amazon. I've linked everything that I could down below that I'll be using today. So I have a green one here, I have a white one there, and you can also buy them in like a pack of 5, and it comes with a big case just like this outside case, but bigger to fit the 5 in. I thought that was really cool. And they had a couple of other colours as well, multicolours, like pastel colours, and they also had a brown one. So it's definitely worth going to have a look. And if you have anything like this, it doesn't have to be exactly the same. If you have anything like this at home, go and dig it out, fish it out. If it's already in a charity box that you haven't donated yet, fish it out and see what you can make with this, because I just saw this and I thought, mini album, definitely. Okay, so let's get on with making the project. So as the project is already made, you get to see me decorate, which you don't get to see me decorate very often. And in a lot of other YouTube mini album videos and tutorials, you don't really get to see a lot of the decorating at all. because we're all concentrating on how to make the actual album itself, you know. And I have plenty of albums that I've stopped at that stage that I need to decorate. So there's loads of little bits here. I spent ages fussy cutting, probably about 45 minutes. Okay, so these are the gorgeous papers. And I just want to say before we move on, this digital collection is from Echo Park, and it's called A Cozy Christmas. And for Independence Day, so happy Independence Day everyone, they do have a sale. So it's from Snap Click Happy. That's where I get a lot of my digital collections, and I'm not affiliated with them at all. They don't know I exist, but I love to shop there, and they always have regular deals and sales and half price things. So let me quickly pop up the poster. Okay, so that's 50% off digital collections. So that wouldn't be like the single paper packs and things. It would be the collection as a whole. They're normally around about $12.99 for a whole collection. And so you can get that for half price. The discount is added at the checkout. And this particular sale ends Sunday, the 5th of July. So you have, you know, just over 24 hours to get everything at half price. But if you miss this one, don't worry, they regularly have 50% off. So just keep checking, or sign up to their emails. They'll send you an email. They're on Facebook as well. So again, I'm not affiliated with these guys. I get absolutely nothing from them. I just love to shop there, and they have Echo Park, Cartabella, really good names. So that's enough waffling on. Okay, so let's just scoop everything up, and then we can get started. So first thing I'm going to do is, actually you can help me decide something here. Yeah, my live chat has stopped working on my phone, so I have to rely on what's going on here. But I would like you guys to decide which album I'm going to be using. Do I go for the green? I'll bring the papers here, or do I go for the plain white? So I'm going to chat just for a couple of minutes. I know there's about a 30-second delay, so I would love to know which one that you'd like me to use. I've got the white one here. We are going to cover up this section here because this does have some writing, and we can easily cover that up. So I'm not even going to tell you what I'm partial for, so this is purely for you guys to decide. So Gillian's saying the white one. White, green. Debbie says green, Rebecca says white, Gillian says white. So that's 2 white and 1 green. Green, white. Oh, this is going to be a little bit mixed. Green, white. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's even now. White one. Snap blue, green. Green. I think green might just win this one. I'm just doing a quick count here. Green. And if you've never commented for, just write in the colour, please. Just write in the colour. Let us know you're here. And also, if you are watching on the replay, please write in your colour too, because I would love to know. It's great interaction. So if you are watching on replay, you can actually watch the live chat as well at the same time. There's a couple of settings that you can choose from to do that. So, and you know, please join in if you are on the replay. So she's saying white, green please. Okay, there's a lot here. Let's count the greens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 8 greens, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think green has won this one. We are going to go with the green, so I'm going to save this for another day, because I will probably end up making another one of these. Okay, so first off, what I'm going to do is I've written down all of my measurements ready. Let's hope I don't misread. And then I'm going to start cutting into the cardstock and the paper. So the cardstock I'm using today is my favourite. It's from Creative Expressions Foundation Card, and it's called Rich Red. So I'm going back to my old paper trimmer because I seem to want to yank this up. That's probably how I broke it. And the new one I bought, I'm going to use that as my travel trimmer, because I'm going to be taking that to Hochanda at the end of the month. Okay, so I'm going to create mats for this, and I'm thinking I would really like this wooden. I absolutely love this. This is one of my favourite. Out of all the lovely pattern papers, the wood grain is my favourite. Okay, so I'm going to cut 2 of each. So we're going to have 5 3/4. This one's going to be 5 3/4. And then that's going to measure by 5. This one is going to be 5 as well. Okay, I just need time to create a blog post for this one. I'll do the 5 3/4 again. And this is going to be 1 3/8. So as I was saying, I just need to create a blog post for this particular one, then I can have all the measurements written down. So 2 of those, and then we have a 5 by 1 3/8. By 1 3/8. So what I'm doing, instead of doing each one individually, I'm doing everything in batches. So those are all of my outside red mats done. So let's give this a chop. I may just have to print another one of these out. Yes, I will. So I can actually do that while I'm cutting. So let's turn on my printer. I'm really enjoying my new setup. I've got my printer up here. I used to have it downstairs. I used to print things over the network, but I now have my new computer up here. I have everything up here so that I can just go ahead and just print stuff as I go. So I'm just going to quickly find it. Ooh, which paper pack was it in? There's 2 paper packs. It's in paper pack 1. There it is. Print. Oh, I need to change my paper. That's the only thing. You can probably hear all this rustling, but this will be a lot quicker than running downstairs to actually go out and do that. Okay, it's printing. Right, you'll probably hear a bit. Okay, so I'm now going to cut this at 5 1/2. I need 2 of these. 5 1/2. 4 3/4. 4 3/4. This one's going to be 1 3/8. 1 3/8. I might actually get away with this, but that means I do have another spare of wood grain to use inside the album, which is good. That's also going to be 5. I think I prefer that side. By 1 3/8. If I make this album again, I will make sure that the outside is already done, because I can already see that this is taking up a bit of time. So has everyone been having a good weekend so far? Any plans? Or I hope not too many plans have had to be cancelled and things like that. Okay, that's just printed. Pop that away. Okay. I'm just reading some of the comments here. Okay, so Tammy's asking, what paper are you using to print your digital papers nowadays? I need to do a whole new video on what I use. I use a few different things. One of them is linked, or two of them are linked down below. Let me just grab one here. I like to use this one. That's quite thin. And then I also use this one here. It's 200 GSM. It won't give you the same print quality, but it is super smooth, and that is what I've used to print all of this paper out on. But I do need to do a whole video on that. But first, what's coming first is my review on my unboxing of the printer I'm using at the moment and setting it up. So that video will be coming first. So let's get all these mats glued on. I have a new one. Busy month. Gonna need lots of glue. Okay, I think this is blocked up. I have a stick here from my flower making. Let's just shove that in. There we go. I think I can possibly sit down again. Sitting up, standing up. I tend to be a stander-upper. Is anyone else like that, or do you prefer to sit down? I start sitting down and then I just, I stand up, and then a couple of hours later I wonder why my legs are getting tired. Oh yeah, I've been standing here for a few hours. It makes waiting in queues quite easy because I feel as if I've been training for it, which is pretty good with the times that we're living in at the moment, with all that queuing outside of shops and things. Okay, so let's get these matched up because one of these is shorter than the other. So we have the two shorter ones here. I cut those wrong. Oh, I cut these wrong. But I haven't cut it so wrong that I can't correct it. I just cut them too big. So let's correct that. It should be 1 and 1 inch, and that should be 4 and 3/4. There we go. 4 and 3/4 and 1 and 1/8. And this one should be 1 and 1/8 as well. So once we've got these mats down, we can then decorate the front cover, which I'm actually really looking forward to. Okay. These could be handy. These make really good strips if you have different papers meeting. You can put a strip over the top of the join. So I tend to keep all those to the side until I know I'm done, like done. Okay, so I'm going to try and read out some more of the comments now whilst I do some gluing. Okay, so Robin says, I haven't. Oh, no, I think that's a part of a conversation. So I'm going to have to read a lot of this on replay. So, hi, Sally. Hi, Nancy. I'm going to have to refresh this on my phone because I really want to know what the comments are saying, but it's just too far away for me to see, and I don't have space to move my monitor over. It's where it is. That's where it stays. Okay. Aha, that's much better. And I am going to sit down just to, I think slowing down slows me down too. I think that's why I like to keep standing, because I'm all action. Ready for action. I'm going to sit down now. Let's chill out. So are people talking about Christmas shopping? I think that's what people are talking about. We're doing the green today. Right. This is going to be glued on there. Glue. I went for the new one then, I haven't even opened it. I have actually started some Christmas and birthday shopping already. I bought loads of little things in January, and I've been buying a few things here and there throughout lockdown as I've seen them, so I've been stowing them away. Okay, so this glue it's an acrylic glue, so we can glue on plastic and things, and paper too. So I'm just looking at the time. It is 5 to 9 where I am, which means the chickens will be going to bed in about 5 to 10 minutes. So I've already been out there to say goodnight to the little ladies, because I will miss their bedtime. Somebody else will be locking them in tonight. Okay, this is feeling quite nice already, and I've only put 2 mats on. So let's get this on. And then we can start decorating. We can actually start doing the fun bits. Okay, so as this album holds CDs and they're round, I'm going to have a few round inserts as well. So I've dug out a couple of round die sets that I have in my stash. This is a tonic circle nesting die. I don't think you can buy this anymore, but just go through your round dies and see what you have. It has to be very similar to a CD size if you're using this album, because that's the size of the pockets. I didn't need to do 2 of these, I needed to do 1. I obviously can't count. Got carried away. And do your glue a lot neater than I am. And then the second one that's under here, this is a postage stamp style circle nesting die set. That's from Craft Stash. This is exclusive to Craft Stash. It's one of their own brands. It's called Creative, and I have quite a few of their nesting die sets already. I love those. The stitched and pierced one is out of stock, which I love that one, but I haven't actually used this one yet, and I have measured, and I think it's this one here. That's the closest size of what we're going to be using. So this is called, doesn't say on there, but it is listed down below. I think it's the Postage Stamp Circle Nesting Die set, and I can't wait to use that. And it does do some stitching detail in there as well. So I'm just going to look for some twine. That was one thing I didn't pull out, so let's grab some twine. Don't know if I have any gold. I should do. Whether it's accessible, that's another story. Oh, this one, that's nice. Okay, just breaking into my twine collection here. I have these 2. I think I have a green as well. Never mind, we can save that for another day, but I quite like this. And we've got the red too, and get this the right way round. Okay, I do have a truck in here somewhere. I love trucks. I'm thinking I'm going to have that on my front cover, and then I'll put the date. I'm going to leave room for a date here at the bottom, and is there anything else I want to use? There's so many here. Got a nice bit of holly there. So I'm going to pop this up onto some foam pads. So let's grab those. And I'm going to do some messy loops here. So I'm just going to grab, if you're wondering, that's my printer going on standby. It does stuff like that. So I'm just going to use just a tape runner on there. There we go. Don't know whether you'll be able to see that. Then I'm just going to do some messy little loops. Okay, so I've kind of created some loops here, and then we're just going to just place them onto, I probably made a bit of a mess there, it's twisted round. Okay, well, let's do it the other way. Pop that on, that's got stuck, pop that on there. Gosh, this is a naughty piece of twine. This wants to twist. And then just in strategic places, just twist it round and place it. It's really hard to get this in your mind's eye to look perfect. I think because this is quite a thin twine, it doesn't want to behave. So I'm just pressing it down. So this is going to go there. It's going to cover that up. It's going to cover all these bits of mess in the center. Let's press that down. Okay, stay. And then we're going to pop that on the top. That would look really good with a bit of gold twine as well, but this one was the closest I could reach. I am attached to a wire. Okay, so Robin's saying it reminds her of the art glitter glue. I haven't actually tried that. That is something I would like to try. I have heard some great things about the art glitter glue. So as I said, I'm going to have these on foam pads. So I think crafting for Christmas is probably my favourite thing to craft for. I just love it. I can do it any time of year, and we've already started in the magazines getting ready for the Christmas editions too. So those will be coming out in September onwards, hopefully September. Hopefully there's no date changes. Okay, so that is my front cover done. Don't worry if that's upside down, because we can just switch that around. Okay, so that is the front cover done. I can add a few bits and bobs to that. Where's that? What did I do with that? Because I'm thinking I can use it for this actually. Here it is. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim that down. Let's grab a pencil, which I moved right to the other side of my desk. We're going to take this there and then trim that down. This is just an experiment. I don't know if this is going to work. I might have to recut a new mat for that, but I will do that another time if I have to recut. Okay, so I do have a funny edge there now. I'm not a fan of that look, so I'm going to see if I can get that covered up. So that's going to be glued on here, and then I could probably put something here, you know, like a flower or something like that. I think that looks quite nice. We've got some holly here. Oh, that does look nice too. Yes, I'm going to stick with the holly, I think. Before I glue that down, I'm just going to take this out. Don't know whether you'll be able to see, but this says music in there, and that's not what we're going for. So this does actually come out. You have a little bit of piece of paper there, so I might just change that out for a bit of pattern paper, but I'm going to do that another time. I just wanted to show you this little feature, and then that pops back in again. Super clever. So you can really personalise this album. Okay, so let's get, where did it go? losing things. Let's get that glued down. And then I'm going to leave this clear. I'm not going to completely matte it. I'm just going to put a little sign on there. I've already chosen it. It's in that pile next to me. So I did like the holly, but then I think I have a smaller one of these as well. Don't think, oh, here we are. We have a smaller one. Actually, I'm going to go for the holly because it sticks out less and it's, you know, not going to get caught on things. So I'm going to need some smaller pads here. So let's, I have one here already. It's stuck to me. Okay, I'm going to get my scissors. Adding one to each leaf is just going to give it that little bit of extra strength and support. Okay, so a lot of people are saying the holly. I did go with the holly. Yeah, put the holly down with the dimensional. I got 3-dimensional, Cheryl. Okay, and that covers that awkward edge there. There we go, I used the mat that I cut by accident. Okay, right. Front cover I have chosen, and I'm going to keep it flat now. I'm just going to add glue just like that, because I kind of really like this see-through effect here, because we make so many mini albums and they're all opaque, and I guess you can get quite fancy with acetate and things like that, but I'm definitely just going to keep this and, you know, just use it. So glue. I keep going for my new one, so I'm going to put this somewhere where I'm not going to reach for it. Okay, so I don't know whether I'll be able to see the glue from the other side, so we'll find out in a moment. So let's get this popped down. There we go. Let's have a look. Just about see the glue. I think I can see that it's wet still, so once that dries it should dry mostly clear and practically invisible. So I can add something here as well, so that's nice. You're going to hear me say that a lot. That's nice. This is nice too. These are nice. This is quite me. I always wear black wellies in the winter. I don't think I wear anything else actually. I've actually bought myself another pair of wellies because I just live in this black pair of wellies, so I've got myself another pair. And I've also got chicken wellies as well for the chicken when I go to see the chickens. So I have chicken wellies and 2 winter wellies. Love my wellies. Okay, what shall we put there? See, this is the hardest part. It's all the decisions. This is nice. I'm going to leave it because I cannot decide. So if I wanted to, because I have the digital collection, I can just print out another one of my choice in whatever size I want. Okay, so the first page, let's pretend we're making, let's say we're making a December daily. This is going to be page 1. So I've got my numbers out ready, and we can decide whether, if we want a pocket, we can use this as a pocket, or we can use it as just a cover. We'll just cover it up with, oh yes, I have welly socks too, but only 1 pair. I'll be using them, I think, when it snows. I'm not going to say what boots I have, but they're the main brand. They're a very popular, nice brand. And then it has when you wear the socks, it covers the brand on top of the wellies, but then the brand again is stitched on the front of the socks, so you don't miss out. But yeah, that's the only brand of wellies I wear. They're absolutely super comfortable, really, really comfortable. I'm just looking now on what I would like to do for day 1. I like that. I think I'm going to use a photo. So what I have here is I've printed off a couple of sheets of photos. See, look at the mess I'm making already. I've made a huge mess. I have some photos here that I have printed off that I would like to include. So I will be using these today, but I'll be filling in the rest another time. So I'm thinking I'm going to mat this. So do I mat in white or do I mat in red? Not sure. I'm standing up again. Okay, let's get this trimmed out. Okay, so this is printed out on the Epson paper, because you will get a better photographic result using that paper. You'd get an even better result if you printed it onto photo paper. Okay, so I want to keep the top of the star here. This was my tree. So I need to take some measurements now, and I've completely lost my ruler. Here it is. It's right at the bottom of this pile. Okay, so let's get some measurements now. Okay, so I'm going to cut this at 4 3/4. I'm going to cover the pocket up completely by 4 3/4. Okay, let's see how that works. And I'm going to keep that as well because I think that's quite pretty. And then I need to keep this even, so that's like that. And then 4 3/4. There we go. Grab the album. So I'm going to completely cover this pocket up. And I'm thinking I don't really need to mat that. Or I could just mat it and then, because we'll see this the other side, I'm going to use red and then trim it down. So this is quite a raw live, I would say, because I haven't planned too far ahead, because I'd like you to kind of like witness my thought processes as I go along, my decision making, and you will see me struggle. I won't lie, you will see me struggle making decisions and going through the creative process. For me, that is normal. I'm sure it's normal for everyone. I need to trim this down. But sometimes it's nice to see other people go through with that. So I'm cutting this down to 4.5 by taking 1/8 of an inch off each side. By doing 1/8 on each side, I'm keeping the image central. I'm going to glue this onto there. That is going to get glued onto here. If you want, you can round the corners off. We did quite a bit of corner rounding last week, so I'm going to give that a rest. Oh no, I don't have any room for Ferreros, no. I'd have to make a side box for it. Thanks, Lou. Yes, we are all the same in a way. I make so many mistakes, but I'm not going to... Thing is, with a live, you can't edit them out, so you kind of have to be okay with making mistakes, which I'm mostly okay with. So there was the one time that I embarrassingly cut something wrong 3 times. I'm sure some of you are watching that time. That was a bit embarrassing, but you know, I can live with a bit of embarrassment. So we've all done worse things, I guess. Okay, so that is now stuck down. That is my page 1. And on the 1st of December, we put up our tree. So I'm quite enjoying this because I don't normally get to this point in my videos where I'm actually adding photographs. So these are from Simply Creative. They are quite old now, so but as we're having loads of companies now... Oh no, that's come off. That should be sticky. I'm going to use glue. Let's take that off completely. A lot of companies are now bringing out their Christmas collections anyway, so no doubt there'll be packs of numbers and things like that. So just throw it across. Right, I'm going to put the number 1 here. There we go. And I'm also going to add something else. I'm going to have a cozy Christmas. Do you think? No, it might be a bit too big. Might be a bit too big. Make the season bright. Okay, I quite like that, but I'm going to add it to the side. So I'm going to snip this off and have it as like a side banner. Yep, I'm going to put it there as well. So all you have to do is just chop it there and then glue that on here, or use some foam pads. I'm going to use foam pads, I think. Foam pads. And then that will give it some dimension. Okay, there we go. There is our first page. It's kerning a little bit because I've used the wet glue. And then on the back side, it's red. Okay, so we're going to pop something inside there now. So I just need to do a bit of tidying because I've made a huge mess here. And I want to get my die cutting machine out. Okay. Let's move to some papers now. I'm going to go for this one. I'm going to do it at 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. This is going to be for the page on the right, and then the page on the left is going to be the pocket. Okay, so let's glue that on. There we go. Okay, there is something I want to do first. There's a few different circle things that I would like to try. So this is the circle I decided it was going to be best for CD size. So if you don't have any circle dies, you can just draw around this CD. This is the closest circle size to that CD that I have. Okay, so I'm just gonna... I need to cut this down so it will fit through my machine. I'm not going to be using my large format machine today. I'll do everything on my smaller Big Shot, because I know not everyone has the larger one. Okay, so that is going to be our first layer. Then we're going to use photograph. I'm picking up the wrong thing here. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I'm going to be using that. These are some chocolate Christmas pudding mini cakes that I made one year for teacher gifts. So there we go. We packaged them up and did it a homemade star as well. So we did that. That was a lot of fun. My daughter really enjoyed that. That was when my daughter was just at school many years ago now. Okay, so have a great evening, and yes, you'll be able to do the catch up as well. Okay, so I've cut that out, and again I'm going to keep this because I can use that again. Okay, so where's my other circle? So I'm going to make a little bit of a flap there where you lift that up just like that. So we're going to make some score lines now. So grab your scoreboard. So we're all just using just general basics today, craft room basics. I did find my other bone folder. I got 2 again. It took me 2 days to find it when I realised that I'd put it in the wrong pot and I wasn't looking in it. Okay, so I'm going to score this at 3/8 of an inch just here at the top. So I'm going to fold that outwards. There we go. And then I'm going to try my best to, let's turn it this way, get that straight. And then again, oh actually no, I'm thinking on my heels. I stopped myself just in time. Okay, we don't need to score the bottom one because we're not making a full-on booklet. We're literally just going to glue this on there. That's going to lift up and make ourselves a little flap. So my glue, there we go. So I'm going to get this straight again. I'm going to cover that up. And there we have. Okay, oh, we'll see you later, Becca. Oh, sorry, Rebecca. And Nancy, oh, says she needs to purge some more stuff to find room for it. Ah, so she can make room for a new big shot. I find that I have a Gemini as well. That takes up less room. So this is going to flap up just like that. And then we can pop this into here. I am going to decorate this as well, I think. We could leave it plain. So let's grab our number 2 and I'm going to pop on Have a Cozy Christmas. There we go. This album will probably leak into this album here, or I'll buy another green one just so that I can fit in loads of extra photos, so I can take 2 of these albums up to date. I go past 25. I go to the 31st because, you know, we have New Year's, and I just continue taking photos really. So this is going to be number 2. Oh, again, that just goes to show how old these are. So I'm going to pop number 2 up in the corner there, but before I do that, I want the other photo that's going to go with that. So let's get that cut out. Okay, so I do like to have a border around my photos as well, so let's see if that's wide enough. I might get another piece out here. Do I have any wider pieces? No, these are all thin. Okay, so I'm going to glue that onto there and then trim that out. Instead of me having to just get my ruler out, I like to do this part by eye. So I'm going to go for an 1/8 of an inch border. I mean, I've always done this when I've scrapbooked before. That was my little trick, instead of measuring. Whoops. So Debbie's asking, can I add sleeves? No, they are fixed in, so you can't add any and you can't take any out. I'm thinking this might be a bit long, but we'll make it work. Yes, it is a bit long. Okay, I'm going to trim it top and bottom so I'd only have the border at the top and bottom. So let's just trim that down. We can have that coming from the top. Yeah, actually I'm going to keep it like that. There we go. Yes, these are fixed in, so you can't take them out at all. Okay. Number 2 here. Should I put that in the middle or off to the side? I like the middle. Yes, Robert, I use the Gemini, the big Gemini, and I absolutely love it. I bought it when I just brought out my new dies because I knew that I'd be doing a ton of die cutting, and there was no way I was going to be using a manual one for the amount of die cutting that I had to do. So I got the Gemini and I have not regretted it at all. The trick is, some people moan about them because the plates warp a lot, but I found, let me just grab my plates. These are my plates, they're barely warped at all. So I keep one plate, this is my one plate here for cutting, and I die cut it and then I turn it over, I switch it round like that, and then I die cut again. I do that between every single pass, and that's what's kept my bottom plate straight, and the top plate I haven't die cut on at all. That's always on the top, so that's how I keep them straight. And I do a ton of die cutting with those. So I also have the Gemini Junior plates. I don't have a Gemini Junior, but I do have the plates because these fit in the bigger Gemini sideways. They don't go through that way, but if you turn them round that way, this is the width of an A4 sheet of paper, so it's actually a bit longer because they are a bit bigger, but that will fit through the big size Gemini that way round. And sometimes I use that too because you don't want to be sending a massive plate through if you have a little die. But I also have a small Big Shot as well. I don't have a Big Shot, the Big Shot. Is it Big Shot Plus? I think it's a Big Shot Plus, but anyway, I use the Gemini and I absolutely love it. So yeah, Robin says she doesn't want to buy both. I find that I have used the Big Shot Plus before, and I found it not difficult to use, but definitely more difficult to use than the electric one. It's bigger in size and it's definitely heavier, and the plates are awkward. Basically, you're getting massive plates just like this. Those are heavy, so you know it kind of feels like you're having a little bit of a wrestle sometimes. Okay, so this is going to be day 2. And that's going to open just like that, and you can add your journaling and bits and bobs. Okay, so we're moving on now. So let's choose another piece of paper. Let's go for another one of my favourites. I quite like this one. I like these two together actually. There we go. We'll go for something a bit different this time. So it's 4.5. Sorry, 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. Okay, so this will probably be the last page that I'll be doing tonight. I haven't really got too far in because these do take a lot of time. The thing is with decorating is it takes ages. So if you want a part 2 of this particular album, let me know and I'll see if I can come live again during the week. It'll be in the evening, British time evening, UK time. So okay, so I'm gonna try this one next, and I'm gonna cut that from dun, dun, dun. I'm thinking the red. Yep, I have red here. So yeah, if I do a part 2, I'll print out some more photos and we'll carry on doing it. But I don't really want to go past a part 2, because people will lose interest. So okay, so this is what it looks like. This is the stamped one now, so that does lovely stitched area as well. So I'm going to use that as a pocket. I'm just going to quickly find a die here that will fit in the center so I can cut something else out. Is that going to fit? That's too big. The nesting dies always sell out first. There we go. And we've got some homemade mince pies there. Okay, so Jade's saying she has the Todo. I've never heard of that before. Gemini, Junior, Gemini, Cricket, and one from Europe. They are all great depending on the task, but my favourites are the Geminis. I would have to agree there. I have big shots in the Gemini, and I like the Gemini a lot. But my favourite thing for the smaller dies is at the normal size big shot. So they're both used in equal amounts. Okay, so these are my mince pies. There we are, nice and festive. Maybe we should put some more bits and bobs here. I've just made a huge mess beside me. Nope. There's going to be a lot of nopes here. When I call it auditioning, when you're seeing if things fit and seeing things, see how things look before you commit to gluing them down. I might add some more holly. Maybe. I'm going to leave that because I'm going to think about it. If you're not, I thought something was going to fall then. If you're not sure about anything, just leave it. Don't do anything at all. Just leave everything. Okay, so that is going to pop inside here. So then you can put a whole load of other mats inside here too. It does come with quite a few cutter parts from the printable kit. This is a physical kit as well. If you can find it in its physical form, it's quite old, but if you can find it, then you know it'll be the same sort of thing. So I'm sure this time of year they'll be bringing out all of their new collections, so I'll be looking forward to seeing those. So I do have some larger ones here, and you can just fill this pocket here with loads of different photo mats and things like that. Okay, so we have Joyful. This photograph is not impressing me at all, so I'm going to take that out, but that was just an idea on how you can use the scalloped one. So I'm thinking I'm just going to use a nice poinsettia. I do have a funny story about a poinsettia that Mr. G bought me. He knew I wanted one and I hadn't bought one, and so on his way back from work, he's a cyclist, so he cycles to work, or used to cycle. He works from home now, but he would cycle to work and back again. And it was December when he bought it, obviously. He bought me this poinsettia, and he puts it in his backpack with the top sticking out the top of his bag, and cycled home in the wind and the rain. And I was like, what are you doing? When he came home, what are you doing? That's going to kill the poinsettia. And within a couple of hours, most of these leaves had dropped off, and then the next day the rest had all fallen off, and I was like, told you so. It just did not survive the cycle home. So yeah, he learned a lesson there. You've got to be really, really careful with poinsettias. I'm using Cosmic Shimmer. Here it is. That's it's in stock. I think it's back in stock now. It hasn't gone back out of stock at Craft Stash, but if you're in another country that sells Cosmic Shimmer, it might be easier to order glue locally. Okay, so I'm going to, Louis saying, poor Mr. G. The next year he was a bit more savvy. He did not decide to go and buy me a poinsettia and bring it back on his bike. He went up to the local florist, and I did have poinsettia written on my Christmas list. Christmas came and went. There was no poinsettia. I was like, there's no poinsettia. It's on my list. And he was like, I know, I was going to get you one for your birthday. My birthday's in January. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's not going to happen. It's January, but they won't have any. And so he went up to the florist up the road, and he asked for a poinsettia on the 9th of January. That's my birthday. And the florist laughed at him because they only sell poinsettias at Christmas. And he gave up after that. I said, don't worry, I will buy my own poinsettias after that. And I do actually, yeah, that was the last straw for him on the poinsettias. But I do keep my poinsettias alive throughout the year after that. So the one from this Christmas I have, it's still alive. So I'm going to cut this down a little bit more. Then I'm going to I'm going to get some white card. There we go, will the white card look good? Yes, I think that will. Okay. Yes, he does try. He doesn't always succeed, but I mean, it's kind of common sense, I would say, to think that poinsettias are only sold at Christmas. Yeah. So yeah, I'll buy my own now. So I'll give him I think I'll give him an easier list. Just need to cut a little bit more off there. Okay, so let's get this popped down. There, I like it with the white. I could probably even use foam pads. Okay, so this is the last page that I'm doing. I have so much more to fill into this page wise. Okay, so this one's going to go on to the foam pads. Here they are. Yes, so the Poinsettia story is a great story. He can now laugh about that. He was a bit embarrassed at first, but anyway. Okay, so I might just add that there, maybe. Finishing touches. So I will basically go through all of these pages, just adding a couple bits here and there, just like the main elements, and then I'll go in with the finer details. Once the whole book's done, I will then add a few smaller details. So I'll probably print these off again, smaller, especially these little flowers here and these bits of holly and stuff. So let's get a number 3 on there. Where are my numbers? Okay, that has to be glued on. I'm going to put the number 3 here. Okay, so let's get this lid back on the glue, and then I'm going to go through all of the comments, because the comments are working again now on my phone, so I can try and keep up there. So Jade saying she's found one for 129 with free post. That's a pretty good deal. Thank you, Kim. That is true. If you buy the glue from the USA, you have to wait for it to arrive. So if you have a really good alternative, if like art glitter glue, you know, perfect. Okay, so this is what we have so far. I'm pretty pleased with that, and there's room here for journaling and things, and you know, really utilize and make the most of these pockets. I think I prefer the round ones and not these ones. I think these ones would be really good for card making and layering as well. So what I really want is rectangles or square versions of this stamped one. Okay, so I've tried to put everything down in the listing of what I've used so far. So let's talk about, before we go, I'm going to have a quick chit chat, and let's talk about earlier on in the week. I posted on my Facebook page, Helen Griffin UK, something that I wanted to buy. It's been on my wish list for a good 5 or 6 years. So let me just grab it. It's a bit heavy. Most of you might know what it is. Here it is. This is the We Are Memory Keepers cinch. It's really big. Here's the machine here. It does the square. I have the Zutter as well. That does the square. I'm not too fussy about whether it does the square or round ones. There is another one of these machines that does the round holes, but it's not this black and white colour or by Heidi Swap. It's kind of like a grey and mint green, which I would have preferred it to be more mint green than grey. So I went for the black and white one because I prefer that you know, the way it looked. And basically it makes spiral bound books. So as I said before, the Zutter does that already. So just the spiral pages here. So you can buy these in different sizes too. So I'm thinking a Christmas album made with this. Let's get this out because I can't see the comments now, it's so big. Let's move that out of the way. So yes, Jade says she has the cinch too, so I'm going to be using that on YouTube, testing it out, and just having a play, seeing if we can make something from it. I will probably do a bit of testing beforehand just to make sure it works, and you know, I haven't got a dud or anything like that. So yeah, J8 is fantastic. I'm looking forward to using that because I have the Zutter, which is the binder tool Zutter. Don't know whether you've seen those before. So like Debbie's saying, printer, doll. Yes, I know. I still need to edit that video. I now have my new computer, so I can work on that. So I have everything ready to do the voiceover. So yes, I do have an incredibly busy July, so I'm really hoping that I can fit all of that in. So as I said before, I'm going to do as many Christmas in July videos as possible. I'm not going to force myself into doing a certain amount because, well, you know what happens when I do that, I don't finish it. So I'm just going to aim to do as many as possible. I think that's more realistic for the way that I'm working at the moment. I've got quite a few deadlines this month as well. So yeah. So Maggie's saying she has one too. So do they tend to just sit on your shelf and gather dust? I mean, I haven't used my Zutter in quite a while. It's just when I have like a certain project that I want binding. But in my head, I kind of have quite a few that I would like to try out with the cinch, because with the Zutter you only have 6 holes at a time, but with the cinch one you have so many more holes to do at the same time. So I'm thinking it's going to be a lot easier to use as well. So yes, Debbie, it's really exciting to play with something new. So it's funny that the large terrarium die, you don't really get, it's not a massive die set, even though the project you make with it is huge. So yes, I'm sure there'll be another offer coming along quite soon. They do have them quite regularly. So I always post on my social media when they have new offers and things. So no Lou, I'm not going to put myself under any more pressure, because I will crack and I know I will. So yes, Jade, I've made diaries with them too. They're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm not going to put myself under too much pressure. So just need to work my way through things. The children go back to school in September, which will free up some of my time and gets me back to exercising, because we don't drive anywhere, we walk. So I'll spend an hour walking every day, which I don't mind. I need that. That is my exercise. I like to walk places. So I'm looking forward to that. So we have another 7 or 8 weeks, I think, before they go back. So they've been enjoying the time off, which is nice. So yes, I'll definitely have a little bit more time in the autumn, I'd say. So okay, so I'm gonna go now. I've got all of this tidying up to do, and I will probably do I might do a part 2. Let me know in the comments, even if you're watching on replay, let me know about carrying on with this, or do you just want to move on to the next project? Because I do have another project lined up but I'm not numbering the projects other than this one, because that's a December daily. But yeah, okay, so I'm going to be off now. Thank you, Gillian. It's lovely to have everyone joining in. Again, the links to these albums are down below. They're from Amazon. They're on Prime as well, so fast delivery. I don't know about US, I'll have to look that up. If anyone can find the US one, just link it, and then I can add it to the description. So thank you everyone for joining me today, and I hope you all have a great week, and I'll see you again in my next video. I'll see you later.